Next-gen gaming for Microsoft has arrived in the form of the Xbox Series X and S. Having just released around 2 years ago, I think it's time we dive back into a rather weird time for gaming in the form of day one for the Xbox Series X and S. Up next. What up, guys? This is Kalo. I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. Again, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Having released on November 10th, 2020, the Xbox Series X and S were some of the most highly anticipated consoles coming from Microsoft in a very long time. After a rather rocky start for the Xbox One console generation, Xbox looked to right all their prior wrongs and deliver the best possible gaming experience in the form of these new consoles. Now, in all fairness to both consoles, they faced a rather tall task here, even outside of the gaming space. A global pandemic caused numerous roadblocks in production as far as internal tech goes, and scalpers came out in droves to clean shop whenever it came to brick and mortar stores. I remember going to my local GameStop and waiting in line to pre-order my console. Now, you'd normally think being the 9th person in line, you'd have a fair shot at reserving this console, right? Turned out, this location received 8 consoles. And that's all together, including the Series X and S, which is oddly unheard of. Now, if I recall correctly, the stock was 2 Series X's and the rest were Series S. But how about nowadays? Is the stock still low? Well, I guess that all depends on where you're looking. Stocks, from what I've heard, change every now and then, where you can go in store no problem compared to the barren wasteland that was year one for the Xbox Series X and S. But on marketplaces like Amazon, you still need to sign up to get an invite to purchase the console. And it's worth noting, you can go on the official Xbox website and get yourself a console in a bundle with a controller. Now, how is the Series X and S doing as far as sales go? Well, Phil Spencer stated that supply is actually as big as it's ever been. It's that demand that's exceeding the supply for us. At this point, we've sold more consoles this generation of Xbox, which is the Series X and S, than we have any other previous generation of Xboxes. Now, that's pretty crazy to think about, that these consoles are the best-selling ones from Microsoft, especially when comparing them to the original Xbox and even the legend of a console that is the Xbox 360. Now, to get some numbers involved, game industry analyst Daniel Ahmad estimated that the Xbox Series X and S shipped over 12 million units. Now, this is a gaming console, right? So let's talk about some games that launched on the Xbox Series S and X. Titles like Forza Horizon 5, Psychonauts 2, Halo Infinite, Grounded, and As Dusk Falls head up the big title releases under the Xbox Game Studios umbrella. Now, I did talk about Halo and its life on the Xbox so far, so you might want to go check out that video after this one, but I wanted to shine a light on what I consider to be a sort of hidden gem amongst these titles for Xbox and Microsoft. And that's Grounded. Having released as an early access game and having just hit official 1.0 status back in September, this Honey I Shrunk the Kids flavored game is a real fun time. Now, while the genre of survival games is vast and jam-packed with truly amazing titles, I feel as if Grounded really leaves its own mark on the genre when talking about its story and fascinating takes on enemy types and encounters. And don't take my word for it, Xbox recently announced that the game hit 13 million players, which is just crazy to think about. Now, as an Xbox fan myself, I must admit there is a steep drop-off of first-party games for Microsoft, which has always been the gripe with most people, especially when comparing it to Sony's stockpile of first-party IPs. God of War Ragnarok? I need ya. But this can all change in due time, especially when looking towards the future. With titles like the long-awaited Fable and Perfect Dark games, or even games that are just around the corner like Redfall and Starfield, Xbox is looking to build up its stockpile to go toe-to-toe with Sony and PlayStation. Now, I'm not getting into the nitty and gritty when talking about the Bethesda Activision Blizzard deals because I'm pretty sure you've heard enough about them, but I feel as if we're coming up on due time with those deals and we could see some of the fruits they have to bear very soon. Now, to talk about things like Discord voice chat being added to the Xbox, it is pretty damn useful, and it seems as if there's a refresh coming to the Xbox's user interface sometime in 2023. So Xbox is really polishing up their user experience. Speaking of user experience, Project xCloud, which is Microsoft's venture into cloud gaming, is doing fairly well. And I have used this service a handful of times, and for what I've made of it, it could be pretty serviceable for a quick game or two on your phone, or tablet, or laptop. Now, we can't do a Microsoft video without mentioning Game Pass, which is still offering pretty damn good titles with its library expanding month to month. Xbox themselves went even as far to state that Game Pass as of January 2022 has netted 25 million subscribers. Now, it is odd to say this, but at least to me, the Xbox Series X and S are really just getting started. By that, I mean Xbox is somewhat over the hump of supply chain issues, and they're starting to ship out bits and pieces of first-party games. Add in all the big studio acquisitions over the past few years, and some unannounced stuff cooking behind the scenes, and it looks like we're in for a little bit of a gaming boom when talking about both Xbox and PlayStation. But as per usual, I'm going to pass this question off to you. How do you think the Xbox Series X and S is doing so far? And how do you think Game Pass is doing overall? Are there any underrated gems on that platform you guys want to shout out? Let me know in the comment section down below. But that about does it here. I have been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. Again, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. But I'll see you guys next time.